Hello, my friends. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be streaming. The tavern doors are open. So come on in, have a seat, have some meat and relax. Hope you're all having fantastic days. Today, we're going to be enjoying another Wildsea Wednesday here on stream. Continuing the next chapter of of the brave adventures of the Scylla's Lullaby. So, please join me in welcoming our wonderful players. Another wonderful day in the Wildsea. Without further ado, my name's Zippy. I'm your host, and welcome to the bridge. What's up, ladies and gentlefolk? This one. Aha. What's up, ladies and gentlefolk? Good to be back. Gonna be streaming, kicking ass, taking names, doing the things. Back with more Wildsea. Won't lie, I've gotten, I never got good at, but, I completely didn't realize I never actually made public the last episode, so I'll be doing that directly after this one. And I'll be posting this one, same day. Whoopsies. But, yeah, hope you guys are all doing swell and dandy. Hope you're all having good Wednesdays, or whatever days in which you are watching this on YouTube. Yeah, we're going to be continuing where we left off in Wildsea with our players at last session, and see what happens in the deep, dark depths under the mountains. Hello. Goodbye. Die.
No!
Hope everyone's doing swell. Wonderful Wednesday so far.
It is going swell for me.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
I went about, did some adulting. Finally picked up a new spool for my weed whacker, so I have to keep refilling the one that I emptied, and yeah.
And I helped.
Agreed. But yeah, no, all around good day. It's a little warm here still. Definitely cooler than it was the last couple days, but it's still easily like 80 degrees in my house and probably 85 in my office.
The sun is a deadly laser.
Yes, it is, and unfortunately my office rests on the side of the house that gets the sun for most of the day.
Disgusting.
Hooray!
Burn the sun.
Huzzah! It's honestly kind of crazy because, like, I do live in a neighborhood. There's houses next to me. There's a massive forest behind me, too. Somehow I got the side of the house that only gets sun. There's nothing blocking the sun.
So all the trees decide to part. It's like that one right there,
Right.
parted.
On the other side of the street, there's basically a mountain. Like, it is silly that I get the sun. And I don't even see it because I have, like, World War II blackout curtains, so my office is actually nighttime 24/7. It's great. Great. Anyways, time we saw our brave crew of the Scylla's Lullaby, you weren't even on board a boat. You weren't even on the sea or above it. Below the depths inside of a rocky tomb. The bowels of the Skybreak Mountains. Where you guys had been, tracking down a couple of things, one of which was a special quest from a ironbound named Ogre, requesting a old mechanical listening device or audio projector. They weren't quite clear on what it was supposed to be. Simply the description to you was a metal box with some dials and doodads here and there on it. Essentially they described a old world ham radio. And the other object, a strange conducting device, for the shipmaster or the dockmaster of the what did it? The knotted something.
The Knotted Cape.
Knotted Cape. Thank you. I realize I don't have my book here. I just realized that I did forget something. But yeah. So yeah, because they had asked y'all to retrieve a what he described as kind of a electronic like transfer device, kind of like a lightning rod, but general electricity and or potentially other purposes. But that is what you guys are meant to seek in return for paying for the repairs of the Scylla's Lullaby, as well as the multitude of medical conditions you guys had to have too. So, we left off the last session, as the group had turned to begin leaving, Briars. You had spotted some, items and things around that you didn't think you'd see while around here. Banners and, tools that are fairly similar in design to banners and sigils find around your hometown on top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Following shortly after that, a man half dissolved stumbled from one of the side tunnels, barely making out words of vengeance, throwing a spear into the abdomen of what could be essentially the center point of the hive, the queen, king, whatever you wish to call it. Not killing her, but certainly causing irritation. He screamed and howled, echoing through the tunnels of the mountain. Would y'all... So from there, what do you guys do? Very quickly, you realize that things are gonna get potentially a little chaotic around here. At this point, I'm just gonna call them what they are: the soul pot ants that don't have the green glow in their abdomen continue to be undisturbed. No movement from them. They don't shift or turn or move about when the queen calls for, well, screams and probably calls for aid or assistance. Oh, also, atop the queen's head, instead of should have been eyes and a more beetle ant-like shape. Middle of her face sits a olive green, kind of faded metal box, dials, tuning equipment are easily visible routing from the machine. As she screams and bellows, Loon, your walkie bursts with sound. Mainly white noise and static and popping, but it's loud.
I rush to turn it off.
As you flip the dial to turn it off, you realize it's been off. You remember turning it off a while ago.
Toss it.
I'm going to toss it towards the center of the room
Okay.
not behind us.
Okay.
Specifically,
You toss it into the antechamber. Is that the correct?
yeah, towards the ants.
Yeah. The ant.
Towards the
E-chamber.
queen. The big thing.
Yeah, but antechamber is the
one.
thing I'm thinking of when like a bunch of things come to one point and it's kind of a bigger room, right? Or is an antechamber like an airlock?
I didn't.
Throne room. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Because the definition of antechamber is a small room that leads into the main one.
Okay, yeah, this is
So-
like an air, yeah, it's more like an airlock or a side room. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the main cave, the main hive area. You find yourself. You toss it in, and the walkie clatters to the ground, bellowing and screeching noises as well. One of the smaller ants immediately toss it towards them, scurries over to the walkie and kind of more like looks and like examines it, it seems like it's trying to hear the noise coming from it. It doesn't attack it, it doesn't break it or anything, but it kind of looks confused. And then the screams of the queen stop and become chittering and chattering. Sound of the walkie dies down, and ant registers instead the signals of the queen as it shifts and begins moving towards where the man had thrown the spear from. What would y'all like to do? There are a multitude of other tunnels, two on the other side of the queen, one off to the kind of rightish where the man had come from, and there's one left as well. And then there's obviously the tunnel you came from. Those are all larger tunnels. There's a plentitude of smaller tunnels all over the roof.
Unfortunately, we have to deal with this sooner or later, because part of what we need to get back up without more issues is lodged in that thing's head. Main question is, deal with it now or deal with it later?
I think it's better to deal with it now, because we deal with it later and not have to deal with however many things that we call back.
I'd rather deal with it now while we know we're dealing with it versus dealing with it later when it decides to make us do it against our wishes.
All right.
Sounds like we're gonna fight.
Well, I mean, fighting doesn't have to be the thing you do in response to this, but yes, it sounds like you're entering the room.
Yep.
All right. Well, the three of you prep whatever you need or arm yourselves, draw your weapon, see fit or not. Focus is up.
I'd like to take focus.
All right.
And try and observe, see if there's any like weak spots. Places.
You can blatantly
hit.
tell the abdomen of the ant is much softer than the rest of the body, due to its relatively flexible nature. It has a very similar texture to the pots been seeing laying around.
Is there any area that we could get like a high ground on it that's visible?
In terms of like, sorry, I didn't finish describing, but what are you exactly trying to get above? It's the nest of the queen.
Yeah.
That was technically
Kind of everything.
okay. There's not really anywhere that you would be able to easily climb up to. Loon might be able to fly to one of the higher holes, but there's no like ledges that are innately around.
Okay.
with the ability to scale walls. They don't really need a ledge to stand on. But yeah, as you observe again, most of the queen's body is this elongated, pale gray, like a sack, very similar to the texture and color of abdomens of the creature, of the other ant, the soul pot ants. Though it is about 15 feet tall, just the abdomen in of itself. And it is a pretty decent circumference, probably 20-30 feet around. Like the base could easily fill a room. Only about a third of its abdomen is filled with that kind of greenish glowing goop. Most of it is empty and kind of deflated looking. The queen's body, though it is not massive, it is bigger than the other ants. Where most of the you can see where workers are about dog size, large dog size. The warriors being about the size of a horse. The overall body, like main body of the queen ant's probably the size of a truck, like a F-150.
Here we go.
Its head is a bit more bulbous and larger than the average ant. And again, where it would normally have eyes and antennae, instead embedded in its skull is that strange box that Ogre had described to you. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Loon? Observing the room isn't anything crazy.
I would like to try and use Elegant Wings to get to one of the higher holes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a multitude of holes around you. Are you trying to just get up from where
The
you
one
are?
up from where I am, but within good view of the queen.
Yeah, I mean, so you can honestly fly straight up and grab onto a hole. These seem to probably be more likely used for worker tunnels than anything. These definitely aren't big enough to fit warrior sized. But yeah, come up here, you get a pretty decent view of the cave you're in, and how much of the space is filled or unfilled. On the other side of the queen, you can finally make out there is a third pile of hibernating soul pot ants, and unmoving. Overall, you probably spot about 10 workers and 7 warrior-sized ants scurrying about at the current moment.
Okay.
Focus is up.
I will take focus.
All right, Briars. What would you like to do?
Briars is going to try to climb up the wall, and he is going to try to get into position in which he can jump down onto the face of the queen.
Okay. True, you are. Yeah, I mean, I guess 2 of the people here could very easily get around the walls in this place. Forgot about that. One's a spider, one's a moth.
Yep.
The last is a cactus.
The last is the cactus, who climbs the walls as well. What the fuck? Yeah, go ahead and give me a that's for climbing. Scale these walls. Probably grace and probably wave walk.
Okay. So, safe walk, and then extra dice for arachnid mobility.
Oh no, vault literally says scaling walls. Yeah, okay. It'll be
Okay,
vault.
yep, so same either way for me.
Yeah.
So 3 dice.
Nice. Plus the arachnid. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 for the edge, 1 for vault, and then 1 for arachnid mobility, so 3 in total.
Okay.
5 in doubles.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you it's not easy, but you manage to climb up. You manage to get up to some of the holes in higher areas and start using those to aid you in getting around. It's a little slower than you would have liked. You don't quite make it to above the queen before you find just that you've kind of lost your ability to get footing. You're about 3/4 of the way up the wall to like the center point in the ceiling.
Okay.
So you're definitely above the queen, but you're not like directly where you can drop down on her.
Yeah.
From here, you do see the tunnel in which the man had come from is wider than the others. It seems to be an antechamber to the main room here. You can see from, even in comparison to the rest of these kind of glowing globulates that have been laid around, the tunnel entrance glows quite thoroughly in that eerie green. Yeah.
Okay. Noted. We might want to check that out later.
Sure, right. Focus is up. Wow, would you like to go?
Sorry, I had a distraction. I want to take focus.
Okay.
Seeing like my 2 teammates kind of upscale the wall.
See, your teammates abandon you. You
Don't worry, I got a glorious plan to get back down there quickly.
So there's how many active ants?
There seems to be, well, if Luna reported to you, there's about 10 active workers, those more large dog-sized, soul pots, and then there's 7, it's gonna be a warrior caste, ants active.
How well can a cactus distract 17 ants? Let's see. I guess Little Pot's gonna kind of survey, see if there's any like rocks he can pick up.
Okay. Yeah. You give me a simple like observation. I mean, honestly, yes. There's rocks fucking everywhere. This is a cave. Now, most of them that would normally be scattered around have been very neatly scooted to the side or added to, you know, some of these groupings of the green globulates to give them, you know, some sort of base or something. But you could probably find stuff outside of the rocks. There's a walkie-talkie sitting in the middle of the room.
See. Whoa. I should have put more debris, but Little Pot's gonna take a rock,
Okay.
take his iron, his refined pad, and kind of like start making like a clattering to like distract the ants.
The classic hitting pan to draw in the dinosaur thing. All right.
Yeah.
Ting, ting, ting.
Oh yeah, so it's a very loud glung glung glung. The echoing of this massive cast iron pan is very audible. Very easy. Almost immediately, the queen's head turns towards you. You can almost see the dials twisting and turning as it chitters and clatters and lets out another screech. The multitude of ants shift their position in a focused pattern, begin to move towards the entrance in which you stand. Though one or two of the smaller ants, as they get close, get minorly confused as they pass by the walkie-talkie, as it screeches its white noise and different audios. Once again, they kind of stare at it and clatter around it. They don't attack it, but they circle around it for a bit before returning to the orders of the queen.
Would I notice that?
Yes, that's why I described it.
Okay.
I wouldn't have told
Radio's
you.
gonna
You
do
describe it,
something.
just describe it. It's because you described it, my character noticed it.
Yeah.
But Lilipot's is gonna kind of keep distracting them and kind of like big gestures towards the radio to the other two, to the walkie-talkie to the other two, hoping they understand what he's meaning.
Would you like to say something? You can speak.
Words.
I'm trying not to give away their position as well, because these things can climb as well. So
Okay.
Just be loud. It's not like these things understand low sour.
The cactus man unga bungas his way to drawing in the ants and tries to unga bunga something to you. Little pot,
He's a
give
chef.
me a signaling roll.
I mean, technically, yeah, I guess.
Give me signaling, little pot.
Is there not an unga bunga?
There is. No, he's literally he's just motioning. Little pot is clanging around and like you can't tell what he's trying to get at. Loon, Briars, give me a signaling in return at a -1.
I can't roll -1 dice.
Does anyone have any dice to roll for this?
No.
Okay, you don't understand
At
what Little
best-
Pot's trying to motion to.
At best, I can zero it out with instinct, and that's it. I can't...
All right.
I should maybe use study. That.
You need time to learn Little Pot's strange ways.
Slowly improving your knowledge of a language, alright? It's on there and I have 2 marks of study.
Agreed. We don't know if Little Pot did a language. All right. Yeah. Folks is up.
But Briars is gonna take this one.
Alright.
As he is going to at least try to get the rest of the way to getting above the queen.
Okay.
And he is going to try to pretty much lunge down. Just let go and jump off the top of the chamber.
Okay. Are you just trying to land on her? Are you trying to strike her?
He is going to punch.
Okay. So, I will let you decide if you want the focus of the roll to be the attack itself or your ability to climb. You will be choosing vault or break.
I will choose break.
Okay.
Teeth 2 from break. A extra dice from crushing blows. So 4 in total.
Roll.
6 high.
All right. So, you do your best to clamber up the wall more over the ceiling, and with the mightiest leap you can really manage when you're upside down.
Yep.
You leap from the ceiling and begin to plummet. It's a bit of a fall.
What hurts me hurts you too.
As you impact with the harder exoskeleton of the queen ant, almost ricocheting off of her head.
Youch.
The impact between your fist, the ant, and just the overall fall, a very sickening kind of crack echoes throughout the cave. Briars, you suffer 2 points of damage for controlled plummet.
A success in my book.
As the queen ant kind of buckles for a moment and screeches and squirms now, howling. You can see a small cracks of spread from the impact of your fist into the top of her head. But she's very not pleased. She immediately begins thrashing about, attempting to throw you off of the top of her head. Her scything claws not quite long enough to reach the top of her head, as you do notice two of the warriors turn back around towards the queen, scooting towards her. You have a chance to use a reaction before you are thrown off. What you do with that reaction is up to you.
I will take the reaction and I am going to attempt to vault off into a better place to land.
Okay.
Because I don't have good brace, but I can at least jump.
I can jump.
Yep, that's all I got.
Alright. Probably the closest quote unquote safe landing is on one of the abdomens of the hibernating ants.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Otherwise you're about still 2 stories up.
Yeah. I believe that'd be vault plus grace for precision.
Are you going for a better landing or a safer landing?
Safer landing.
Probably vault.
Okay. 2 dice. A 6 and a 5.
Yeah. You managed to she's bucking her head back and forth. You take one of the upward swings and use it to catapult yourself towards one of the piles. Land amongst the bodies. You can feel them still with these minor shivers, these soft clacks within the piles as they mentally kind of respond to the queen, but they're inactive bodies. Yeah, you're now in a heap of ants, unmoving ants. Focus is up.
I'll take focus.
All right.
Can I, when I was studying, did I see anything above the queen, like anything that I could drop onto her?
Nothing major. The overall main part of this hive has been thoroughly tended to. Ants certainly aren't unintelligent from what you can tell.
Do I see any type of fluids around?
I mean, yeah, there's a whole bunch of fluids. All weird green glowy goop.
Delicious. Can I try and I'm gonna try and use chemicokinesis
Okay.
on some of that delicious goop to try and control it and turn it into essentially a blade or a spear.
Okay. You reach out with chemokinesis and you can't feel the goo. It appears to be a pure liquid, and whatever it is, pure of what, or it's not a liquid.
Gross.
Is there anything else you would like to attempt to do?
Yes. I would like to try and concoct.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and smash up one of these dew orbs.
Okay, the Cresrine dew orbs. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's try and mix it with these digestive fluids that I have here.
Yeah, hey, you still have those, huh?
I sure do.
All right. Give me a concoct. And then what are you mixing these in? Are you just mixing them in your hand? Like, you do have gloves. You're all technically still in your dive suits. The only one who's been majorly compromised has been Little Pot, and has did a patchwork job on it.
Yippee.
Yeah, I'm just in my hands.
Okay.
And I'm gonna crush it in my hands and pour it into a vial.
All right, so you mash them together in your hands. The amount here is too much to ever fit in one of your like a bowl. So
Good thing I have multiple bots.
yeah, give me a concoct roll.
And then I also need to use that. Double fives.
All right. You take the Cresrine dew orb and this flower that you've had for a while, though. Actually, it's not even flower; it's just the digestive juices. I think about it.
It's just a vial of fluids that I've had.
So you just kind of mash them together in your hands, trying to mix and blend as best you can. All right. Oh, I love how it rolled. Like was on your sheet. The immediate result, you can smell a kind of well, I guess you can't smell much of anything. You guys are wearing suits. So I guess the immediate notice that something happened is the feeling of bubbling in on your gloves. You feel it kind of shifting and bubbling on your gloves, and the tough leather softens very quickly. What do you do?
I'm gonna try and get that shit into a vial as quickly as possible.
Okay. You try and manage to dump this into a vial, hanging from a wall, it's a little difficult. So you only manage to get a bit of it in. Then you see the glass begin to kind of bubble.
Okay. What I do have, I'm essentially going to close the vial and toss it at the Ant Queen.
Okay. You grab and you toss it. You can see as it streaks through the air, the once solid glass kind of stretches as if it was like a bubble. Like it streaks through the air like a bubble would as you blow it. And then it literally pops as it makes contact. You can see the leather of the gloves in your hand, the little bit still there. The leather is very much soft, very malleable, and you can feel it kind of squelch as you close your hand, as if it had been. The spot in which the vial lands on the queen's abdomen. I should have you roll that, but it's fine. It churns and kind of, you can see it also kind of soften, and it almost begins to kind of concave on itself as it loses the structure to hold that section of whether the queen is irritated by you or the man who just collided with its skull, it's hard to tell. Focus is up.
I'll take focus.
Okay.
So, how many of the ants' attention did I get again?
All of them. Except for two now. Two of the warriors turned back.
Two of the warriors saw me get handsy with the queen.
Well,
They didn't like it.
saw is a relative term. The queen made noise and they got interested.
Yeah.
I guess he's gonna like kind of barge through after seeing Briars just fall into the queen and ricochet off, and he's just gonna make an effort to go for the walkie-talkie.
Gonna try and barrel through. All right.
Yeah,
How
He's gonna
are
put
you
his,
doing that?
he's gonna put his pot in front of him, and he's just gonna full charge, like his pen in front of him with it.
All right. Give me a break. That Kit Kat bar. Well, I guess I'll ask you this: are you wanting more to focus on getting through or keeping your footing?
Getting through.
Okay, give me a break.
Okay.
Of that Kit Kat
Will
bar.
I add the weapon as well, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, you're using a tool, so anytime you're using a tool, I go ahead and add one. I don't see a reason not to.
Do I add iron or instinct?
Probably iron. This isn't a very reactionary thing. This is you trying to force your way through something.
Sticks 5 and 2 4s.
All right. You charge forward and you collide with the first ant and the second. The smaller ones are easier to push past. Their size compared to you isn't much more than a regular dog, honestly. And then even the larger ones with your much larger stature, you could probably wrestle a horse. Maybe you haven't ever tried. Don't know if you've ever seen a horse.
What's a horse?
But colliding with one, it gives a little bit of pushback as it tries to keep you in place. It's larger, more beetle-like mandibles clamping and mashing as best it can. But with the pan in front of you, shifting to the side, you push the ant out of the way and barrel through the group. dealing not much harm to any of them. You just kind of dazed a couple, but you sprint past and you reach the walkie-talkie, scooping it up in your hands. As you do so, the queen once again twists and writhes, looking around for briars who had tumbled from her head and away into the pile of hibernating soul pod ants. Her clacks and squeaks and warbles are heard through the walkie and echo off the halls of the cave. The two warriors that had been moving towards her continue to do so. One climbs up the sack and across her body and moves towards. The other one stops where Loon's strange concoction hit and begins licking, eating, sucking whatever it can in that space. Some sort of probably medical attention to an irritant. Focuses up.
No one else would like to. Briars will take focus again.
All right.
As he is going to get out of the pile of ants.
Okay.
And he will draw out his chem pistol and aim for the abdomen, specifically where there's still some of that goo still in
You
the
would
queen.
be on the opposite side of her. I mean, you could run around it and
Alright.
do so.
I would try to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Doing your best to, sprint around the abdomen and finding the spot where you'd seen Loon throw something. Aiming your chem pistol. Yeah, like shoot.
Hunt, since it's a ranged attack,
Mhm.
+1 for the chem pistol. Another 4 dice. 3 6s.
Pulling the trigger and the very quick little hiss of chemical burn, the flash and bang of the potion cap, the round flies through the air and punches like a 3-finger hole in the abdomen. All of the ants at the sound of the crack almost seem to jump. Their immediate senses, they're each one clicking and clacking in different tones and manners. Even the queen seems to be slightly disorientated before she squeals and gives out another order. The walkie once again bellows in white noise and a cacophony of different things. Probably, please. Little pot, do you have any knowledge in knock?
No.
Roll me instinct with a +1. Either way. Yeah, it's probably tied to the +1.
5 and 3.
5 and 3. Getting this chance to kind of hear noise coming. You realize it's a little more than just white noise. It's speech, some kind. Can't make out what it is, but it's definitely more than just garbled nonsense. Something there.
Can I fiddle with it to turn up the volume as high as I can go?
Sure, you still can't understand it, but sure.
Well, if it's not, hopefully I can raise it up high enough for someone to understand it.
I focuses up.
I'll go ahead and take focus.
Right.
Did the like fluids that I threw at the ant queen, have they all like fizzled away? Is it still visible?
It's hard to tell now that not only was there some sort of medical attention applied to it fairly quickly with the warrior ant apparently sucking up a good amount of it, but also now Briar's just put a hole in it.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell if it's doing anything else. At best, you seem to understand it might have softened the abdomen a bit more. But without the ability to blatantly study it, it's hard to see what the overall result of it was.
Is the warrior ant that sucked up most of it still in sight?
Yeah, it hasn't moved. It's only been a moment, so it's still technically doing its job. It reeled back from the very concussive gunshot that happened right next to it, though.
Yeah. Can I try and use chemical kinesis to expand the fluid within the warrior ant?
I need to get you more, like, impure things.
Yes, you do. Please.
Because...
Please. I've had nothing to use it on.
So, agreed. Unfortunately, I haven't been rolling impure things. I haven't been, like, blatantly trying to get impure things.
Yes. I want to use that.
Yes. There also isn't, like, anything to really expand from it. You can't make more of it out of nothing.
Okay. All right. Then I am just going to take my bone blade and dive down, using the force of essentially velocity.
A little bit of gravity.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What are you diving down onto?
The queen.
Okay.
I'm trying to aim kind of towards where it fell on her.
Where? What, the vial or
the fluid?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of the lower abdomen area. So.
Yeah.
What's with my teammates diving towards the queen?
You're fine, little pot.
I'll leave you down there.
Don't worry, little pot. You're fine. They can't eat you too quickly.
We told you we weren't gonna leave you down there by yourself.
As stated, I have a plan to get down very
quickly. And then this rapidly going for the queen. It's just both of you did.
It's fine, little pot. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right. So, are you letting gravity do all the work?
I'm letting gravity do most of the work, yes.
Okay. So you drop from your spot. Steady the blade and give me a probably it's definitely more towards teeth, but I'd give you Graces.
Yeah, grace.
And break.
And break.
And then +1 for the sword.
+1 for the sword. I'm trying to read Wave Walk and see if anything from there could help. Animalistic elegance.
Fair, but you're making an attack out of this.
Okay. Then I will just do the 3.
You also only get 1 skill, so you'd pick either break or wave walk, and both of them.
Okay. I got 6.
Okay. I honestly should have you guys describe how you do the stuff, but letting go of the hole you were hanging on to, you take a quick push off with your feet and let gravity take hold as you plummet towards the floor. Arm just kind of extended, sword out like the head of a spear. As you close into the ground, you realized the probably 35 feet you're now plummeting isn't safe to just hit the ground with. At least not without injury. Is there anything you'd like to attempt to maybe not slam face first into the side of a giant ant and or the rocky ground?
Listen, I'm trying to hit the ant, and once I hit the ant, I'll use my little wingy wings, and then we're gonna be fine.
Would you like to use your wings to...
most lightly, you're following the style.
Would you like to use your wings to do a controlled fall?
Sure.
Okay. Because I love you, but I just had Briars do the same thing and take 2 points of damage.
Yes, a controlled fall.
Okay. Using your elegant wings, you let gravity do a good amount of it, but you know, steady and slow yourself when you impact face first into the side of this thing. And you got a 6. No doubles though. Okay. Now, you plummet down and your sword sinks into the abdomen, kind of just above where the initial vile gunshot wound was. Your sword bites about halfway through before it catches on some of the tougher abdomen flesh. The queen again kind of shrieks, and you can see this abdomen kind of warble, and the churning green ichor inside kind of jiggle back and forth like a weird skeleton. The ants, the smaller ants, respond quite swiftly. Half of the smaller worker ants immediately turn and skitter past the little pot, ignoring his presence all around. The one on the one closest to you, the little pot, once again it as it skitters by, it stops for a moment and turns to the walkie and kind of looks at it weird in your hand. It doesn't even seem to notice you exist, but the walkie gets its attention for a moment before it seems to recollect itself and turn towards the queen and scurry off again. Was 3 of the remaining wolves also moved towards the queen, moving towards Loon and Briars have dealt wounds to her. On the other hand, the 2 warriors that still stand near you, Briar's little pop. One of them clacks its long mandibles and charges towards you, its head lowered in a ramming action as it sweeps up with its mandibles, and they catch you in the chest. Would you like to do anything? Or?
That was towards me.
Yeah, towards you, little pot. I say briars again. I meant little pot.
Yeah, you said little pot and briars. Yeah.
No, I definitely meant little pot. Yeah.
I'm gonna attempt to like just hold the mandibles like back.
Okay. So give me a brace.
I have no brace.
Oh, it's iron and brace. Then probably +1 for your towering.
So that's 2 then.
All right.
I got a 6.
You twist just in time and you grab the mandibles as they sweep up towards you, stopping the ants. The momentum of the swing, though the weight of its body still manages to push you a good amount. It doesn't hurt, but it definitely lifts you a little bit and carries you a couple of feet backwards before you manage to re-catch your footing. And as it does so, the other warrior scurries up and over the first body. This one...
Be right back.
Okay. This one, mandibles closed. You can see the edges of the outer part of the mandibles are almost blade-like as it attempts to slash and potentially puncture your skin. What? Yeah. So it climbs over the first ant. Its mandibles clamped together, and as you catch your footing and steady yourself again, you just barely get time to shift ever so slightly. Its mandibles cut across your left side and streak past your torso. You do take a mark of damage. As well as, once again, your suit has been ruptured. This time with a much longer gash across the side and over your shoulder.
Suit wasn't a rental, right?
Well, I mean, no one else came back alive, so like, I think returning with it in general is
yeah, honestly, just like, hey, we brought it back. That's better than 99% of everyone else.
Yep.
I'd like to take focus if that's available.
Okay, let's focus up, yeah.
Getting kind of annoyed by like this, all the damage that he's been getting. He's gonna attempt to break off the mandibles of this ant.
Okay. Yeah, give me a break with a do break with a cut of 1. These aren't small and they're very much still very active.
Anything else you'd add to it, like towering or iron?
I mean, you're always going to use an edge, a skill, and an aspect if you have one. So it's always going to be an edge, so iron. It's always going to be a skill, so break. And then if you have an aspect that applies, yes, you use it. So towering still applies. I'd say you're, well, actually I would say towering doesn't apply. You're the same size.
True.
Usually does, but it's usually things are smaller than you.
I feel like the towering would just help not take another cut, huh? Because if we were smaller than it, then it would probably have more of an advantage.
Yeah.
Shall we roll that then, just for 3?
Oh, yes.
2 5s.
Alright. Yeah, you can manage to kind of twist and turn it. Though the mandibles don't break, you kind of it's kind of like wrestling like a lion. You know, you grab it and you kind of twist it. It loses its footing, so it falls to its side. Nothing breaks, but it definitely looks little dazed as its legs skitter and try to catch its, get its footing again. At least one of them's been knocked over. Actually, I guess the other one on top of it, that one also kind of falls to the ground as well, off to the side. Much quicker to recover, though. And focus up.
Quickly kill the queen, please.
I was gonna say, don't forget, you can take focus multiple times in a row. You can do that. Nothing stops you.
Yeah.
You can also take reactions in response to other people's turns. So if, one person's like, yeah, I knock over this creature. The person's like, I reaction, throw a spear. Done.
I'm gonna say, can Briars see that happen from his position?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. As a reaction, he's going to fire a chem shot into its abdomen.
Pistol.
Just chem shot pistol.
I don't remember how I described it to you. I'm pretty sure I described it as a flintlock, but
Hemlock pistol.
yeah. You get one shot. You have to reload it.
I'd have to reload.
You'd have to reload, which I would not give you as part of a reaction.
Definitely not.
Part of your action? Sure, I don't give a shit. Part of a reaction? Absolutely not.
Fair. Perfectly fair. Unfortunately, I do not have much else that I could do to assist with that, so if you want that to be dealt with, take focus again.
Yeah, I'm gonna take focus, and I'm gonna
Alright.
put my foot down on the mandible that's closest to the ground.
Okay.
Kind of use my body weight to keep its head down.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take my reef iron pen. It's gonna start bashing its face in.
Okay, so 1 foot on the lower mandible.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, it's a little unwieldy, but go ahead and try and smash. I will give you a cut of 1 on this as well, just due to trying to wield that one-handed.
There's a blender going on my back, but I cannot hear. I'm sorry.
I would say I'm gonna give you a cut of 1 on that due to one-handing your fucking pan and trying not to get mandibled to death.
Look it up. That'd be two break, 1 iron, and a pan. Cut of 1. So that's 4 with a cut of 1. 3 T.
Man, I almost feel bad giving you the cut. 6-2-2-2.
Yeah. Damn.
You plant your foot down on one mandible and you try to hold the other as you lift the cast iron pan, and you manage to get one good like hit in before you immediately feel your foot lose. You immediately feel yourself lose balance as the lower mandible's drawn out from under your foot. You stumble backwards, clattering just ever so lightly onto your tuchus. As the ant rights itself and kind of shakes off the blow. At this point, Briars, there is 2 horse-sized ant beetle things charging your direction. One is like barreling down on you. It seems to be using his head very much as a battering ram. What would you like to do?
He is going to dodge out of the way.
Okay.
Either to the left, to the right.
All right.
So I believe that'd be instinct. Volt, I believe, technically, because it is dodging.
Yes.
And I don't think I have any aspects that might be able to help. Maybe Urzat's limbs for being able to roll properly? Get myself back after.
If this
Yeah, that's a bit.
If this needed your hands more, then sure. But I don't. If you're like, I in response clamber over it, I'd probably give you the hands, but you're just jumping out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I would give you +1 for your weird body shape. Because you can contort yourself to inhuman shapes, right?
That is true.
Yeah, that's something to remember.
So yeah, I will shift my colony further to one side so I can help move myself out of the way.
All right.
A 4 and 2 3s.
All right. So yeah, you manage to kind of shift to the side, but it's not quite enough as it sweeps its head towards you in an attempt to figure your side. It's the bulk of its skull still collides with your side. It throws you a little further than you'd planned to jump, tumbling across the ground. You'll take a mark of damage.
Okay.
Oh, but its momentum tends to kind of carry it a little bit further past you as it goes by. Focus is up.
I'll take focus.
All right.
Where did I end up?
You are just above, so you're about 5 feet off the the stone floor. You're slightly above the chemical hole that was put in the queen's abdomen. Immediately to your right, there's a warrior who is cleaning the wound. And just having run past you and collided with briars, 2 other warrior ants have passed by.
Okay, I'm going to try and attack the warrior ant that is tending to the queen's wound.
Okay.
Just using my bone blade, I'm going to use that in elegant wings and do like a little short burst.
Okay. So probably grace. Generally, I see you fencing more than swinging. Generally, is how I imagine you attack. Grace, break the blade and wings, so 4 dice. With a +1 because the ant is not attentively trying to defend.
6, 5, 4, 3, 1.
Almost Yahtzee.
No, that's not how Yahtzee works.
I don't know how Yahtzee works. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hence, it's almost Yahtzee. It wasn't a Yahtzee though.
I'm putting a mark on my bone blade for doing that too, right?
No, you didn't fail at anything.
Okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
No, you turning to the ant, you do a quick, puff out your wings and with a quick flutter up, and then letting gravity once again kind of bring you back down. You dig your sword, and it squirms and reels and steps back a bit from the pain. It's you can tell it did a decent. Creature's certainly not dead, but it is certainly not well. A hole through its chest. Focus is up.
I always take focus to try and save my ass from this.
Okay.
So it's the two that charged briars aren't the 2 that were attacking me, right?
No, they're part of the 5 that moved towards them.
Okay.
Sorry, 4 that moved towards them.
Yeah. Little Pot's gonna get back to his feet and kind of just ready his pan to like kind of be on the defensive against these two.
So you're preparing to be assailed. That what you're planning? Preparing to defend yourself from any kind of assault.
Yeah.
Okay. You stand up, you ready your pan like whether in a shield or holding like a bat or some way, you prepare yourself for the coming onslaught. Which your instincts aren't far off, as skittering past the 2 larger ants, remaining 5 smaller worker ants barrel towards you. Though their mandibles are much smaller, there is nothing stopping them to hold you down and tear you limb. As they grow near to you, what do? I will give you a full action as a response.
You're gonna book it.
Little Pot preps himself for the incoming assault. Fuck this. He just turns and runs.
Run away!
He's gonna just run towards the other 2, towards the queen.
Alright, you turn and skedaddle, old Scooby-Doo style. Like kicking quickly as you run off. The ants are a little thrown off by the sudden shifting of noise and movement. But they give chase. Alright. Focus is up. Actually, Briars hasn't had a turn, so it'd be Briars.
I will first reload the gun.
Yeah, you load your gun.
And he is not very happy about the warrior cast ant that just checked him with his head.
Yep. You got fucking checked, dude, by an ant.
Yep. So trying to kill that ant.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm assuming it's back to facing me after the charge that it made.
Kind of. It's coming about, yeah.
Is its abdomen exposed?
I mean, you can see its whole body, yeah. I mean, its abdomen is its butt, so yes, you can see that.
Wonderful. When in doubt, shoot it again.
Okay, man, you turn, leveling the pistol. Give me a shot.
And can I take a cut for improved impact?
Sure. Yeah. No one fucking does that, so that sounds great.
Okay. So I'll be rolling 3 dice instead.
Well, a cut is a full roll. You have a minus of the highest.
I have border gun. I keep forgetting.
Yeah. If you have 4, you'll roll 4, but it'll take the highest away.
Okay. Double and 4s didn't change anything.
Essentially the same thing, yeah.
Yep. Partial success in doubles.
Yeah, I mean, so you turned and doing your best to kind of catch it in that rear section. You do manage to nick it, and you've managed to fire, and it's more of a grazing shot. It does puncture, but it punctures kind of that outer circumference of it rather than going deep into it. The ant kind of stops for a moment, and it clacks and kind of turns back and assesses quickly before turning back to you and continuing skittering towards you. And real quick, I'm gonna take a quick break. I need to go to the bathroom myself, get up and stretch. I'm having back pain still as well, so we'll be right back.
And then there was silence.
Listen, if y'all let me talk, I'm just gonna talk about the magic set.
Oh, believe me, I'm a gigantic nerd about Magic the Gathering and Final Fantasy.
I'm just like
Yap all you want.
I'm just over here crouching over my boxes like Gollum. Delicious. Sorry, I'm going through my sale and trade pile.
Fair. Yeah, I didn't have the ability to get to any game stores for any pre-release events, so I'm just waiting till Thursday.
Fair. I made Hippie wait in line with me to get some product. He definitely did not necessarily want to nor need to, but I felt like this was the event and set to revive the community of midnight release. And although we didn't get there at midnight, we did get there at 5 a.m. And we brought board games. We chilled. And yeah, so we got some product. And then I did 2 pre-release events. Which, if you go to any LGS and they're still doing events with the sealed or the pre-release boxes, do it, because Wizards sent a lot of your LGS's cute little promos for doing pre-release events and sealed events. So I have this little dice bag with a materia on it, and I love it. Nice. I genuinely got kind of weepy because I was like, I love this set.
So the one card from that set that I really want to try to pull is the full art for Clive, Ifrit's Dominant.
I just traded that yesterday because I pulled it in a pack.
Nice.
I pulled it in one of the bundles yesterday.
Nice. Because God, it just looks so cool.
It's very, very beautiful. I ended up trading it. They still had extra pre-release boxes. I traded it for someone to buy me another pre-release box because one in 20 boxes has a special blue dye in it, and I want it.
Yeah, I'm just lucky at where I work. You do sell Magic cards, surprisingly. We also get employee discounts on them, so.
Hell yeah. Yeah. That's motherfucking stonks right there.
Yes. You say that I can be a nerd and save money at the same time. This is a win.
Hell yeah.
Is my paycheck happy about it? No. Am I happy about it? Yes.
Yeah, not me sitting here going, if I just went and applied at Card Kingdom's pulling warehouse, I could be happy. I could get that discount. I could not deal with customers and still get a discount. Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's always the thing that sucks the most.
Whew. Yeah,
the customer service half just.
This set ruined me, and I knew it was going to. I knew I was spending my retirement fund on this. Hippie is sending me weird gifts. Are you... Okay, Hippie, if you can hear me, are you sending me weird gifts while you're pooping? Respond with a weird gif if you can hear me.
Well, that may not work because he may just be sending one at random, and he can't hear you. You'd have to be more specific.
Oh, okay. More specific. Send me a gif of Zach Baggins if you are pooping. Now we wait.
I return.
Well, it looks like that'll be a unknown cat.
Aw.
What's up?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
All right. All right, so focus was up.
I just attacked an ant, so someone else can go.
I shot an ant.
I am calling them ants. They're a bit more beetle-like with their ant-like bit.
True.
Your face is more beetle-like. Ayo, got him.
Damn.
Damn, tell me.
I can walk to your house and throw a shoe at you, right?
Bears in the front yard. Try it. Try walking to my house with a shoe in your hand.
Bear doesn't even bark when I come by now.
Menacingly, he will bark at you.
Your dog's in.
Get him, Bear.
Alright. So, focus up. What do you want to do?
So Briar's big focus again.
Okay. Raj takes focus.
You know what? He is going to attempt to climb over the warrior's head and get pretty much on its back so that he has a better place to aim for his next attack.
Sure, that seems...
It's dangerous. I know this for a fact.
I don't want to deter your creativity, but I wanted to shoot it.
Because now it's facing head on. I don't know if the bullet's just going to ricochet and I only got 2 shots left. But I might as well try to shoot it.
Okay.
See if it works. If it works, yay! If it doesn't, learned.
All right. Yeah, give me a shot. Again, I don't want to deter your creativity, but sometimes the basic thing.
Sometimes the simple answer is the correct one.
Just open the door. It was never locked.
Yes. So
slapping in a new chemical propellant into your gun. Lovely. Wow.
And I will take another cut for increased impact.
All right.
5, 4, and 2.
Oh yeah. You level the pistol, taking that short moment to aim, maybe backpedaling just a little bit to keep out of its mashing mandibles. Another cacophonous blast. The round punches through the outer chitin of the head of the ant as it kind of immediately clatters to the ground. Once again, the sound echoing off the walls causes all of the other ants in the room to kind of shudder and stop and slowly regain themselves before continuing their previous actions. Congratulations, killed one.
Nice.
Focus up.
That's 1 warrior down, 6 warriors and 10 workers to go. Oh, and the queen.
I'll go ahead and take focus and try and hurt the warrior I'm dealing with.
Okay. Yeah, it's already, pretty wounded. So, go ahead.
I'm gonna do a little, one of those fun little swirls of my sword within it, pull it out and then try and stab down.
Okay. Give me that grace, that pizzazz. Swing that sword.
That grace break, bone blade pizzazz.
Yep.
Do you want me to give an extra die because it is wounded, or no extra die this time?
It is paying attention to you now. Yeah, take a die for its wound.
Okay. Double sixes, baby.
Let's go.
I'm gonna look this man in his eyes, and I'm gonna stab him so hard.
Yeah, you again with a little flourish, a little twirl, lifts you slightly off the ground. You do a small swoop forward and catch the ant once again, and in the just the right spot, sword sinks deep and ant squirms and writhes, it's curled in on itself, collapses to the ground. Focus up. Need to take focus.
I'm gonna take focus, and I was running towards the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Trailing like two soldiers and like 5 workers, you said?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna kind of like just pull out the walkie-talkie, kind of like just hold it in my hand and see like, because there's probably like some in front of me as well, in between me and the others.
I mean, I did forget about the 5 workers that are towards them. Yeah, there's a couple. What do you? You're just holding it out as you run.
Yeah, it's gonna hold it out in front of me, like seeing like there's anything from it. It's just sending out a signal at all, like what's happening with it, because he's only noticed they were activated. He hasn't actually fiddled or doesn't know anything about tech.
Yeah, so like running up to them, are you like running through them, or are you gonna try and like go around?
Gonna kind of run through them.
Okay, it's running through them. I guess give me a brace to barrel through these again. They're not like paying you any real attention as you close in, so I'm not gonna put any pluses or minuses. 5. Okay. So you do manage to kind of shove past the smaller ants, though your foot catches on some of the stone and their limbs, and you stumble a little bit, giving them the chance to kind of immediately gain pursuit as you attempt to continue moving past them towards the other 2. There isn't much noise coming from the walkie, and the ants don't seem to respond to anything from the walkie.
Gonna keep running. What kind of just like
Okay.
doing whatever like someone who's not adept with technology would do, like like hit it like lightly, just shake it a bit, just while he's running.
What exactly are you doing with it?
Just I guess he would also just, since it is a walkie-talkie, he would try to talk through it as well.
Okay. As you're spinning by, you attempting to make noise, shake it, you hit it a little bit, not hard enough to break it, but you tap it. By you speak into it for a moment. It's not as severe as it was before, but you do see the ants like jitter for a moment. They stop for like, it's the briefest of moments, and then they continue to move on. You also notice there's a small like warble like pulse from the queen's abdomen. She also seems to have an odd reaction.
Are any of you two more
Focus
savvy
up.
with tech than I am?
I will say Briars now has an idea with that.
Would you like to do something about it?
Yeah, I'll take focus.
Okay. I have an idea.
He's gonna go over, or at least try to get over to Little Pot.
Yeah, I mean, literally running towards you.
Or wonderful. As he's gonna ask Little Pot, hand me the walkie-talkie.
He's gonna like, is he running beside me, or is he like
He'd be running towards you.
okay. He's gonna quickly get into like basically like a football toss throw like position. Just gonna chuck it towards Briars.
And it's sailing. Yeah. Little Pot, how good are you at throwing? I'm not concerned
no idea
about
what-
Briar's ability to catch with 4 arms. How good are you good at?
But can you throw it near Briars is the question.
Depends what throw's part of.
It's gonna be hunt. And I mean, I'll give you instinct. It means to kind of try and instinctually measure the distance you need to toss it.
Gosh.
Oh,
That's you.
I was gonna say, just don't like fail and you should be okay. Oh, well. Briars,
no.
would you like to try and receive?
Yes, Briars will attempt to horrifically change his direction to catch this.
Alright. Attempt to receive.
Yes.
With a +1 from your multitudes of arms.
And what else would I roll?
Maybe Grace. And also make this hunt.
Okay, so that'll give me 4 dice to catch, thank goodness.
All
Don't know why
ones.
that didn't. I rolled, it just didn't pop up. It was 2 4s and 2 1s.
Yeah. Yeah. You are forced to leap to the side, so as you catch the walkie in your 4 hands, you do clatter the ground prone in the opposite direction you were moving originally, but you've caught it. It's not broken, so that's a plus.
That is a plus.
Alright, folks, it's up.
I'll take focus.
Okay, you take focus.
Okay.
So what is the queen doing currently?
She's mostly it's just the clacking of mandibles and the moving of of things. She's currently, it seems she's monitoring you. She doesn't seem to find you as enough of a threat to get involved herself. You've caused minimal wounds to her, and I mean, you've killed 2 of the warriors, but she doesn't seem like alarmed at your presence. Almost as if she'd been attacked like this before.
I'm going to pull out another one of those Krezrine Dew orbs.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of wave it around in front of her.
Okay. She looks at you. Well, actually, she doesn't look at you. She doesn't have eyes. You can see the twisting of dials and the moving of some of the handles and the brackets of the machine that is embedded in her skull, but she doesn't have eyes to see you with.
Does she have any like open wounds? Is it just like where she's been shot?
She doesn't have any open wounds. She definitely has some recent scarring. Seems to have been tended to, but there are some more fresh parts of like carapace or a couple of like chipped pieces here or there. Couple along her chest, and I guess there actually is a recent wound from the spear that's embedded in her abdomen.
Okay. I'm going to try and jump towards that spear and try and grab on, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, the abdomen isn't like perfectly sheer straight up, so you can kind of like half climb up and you'll grab it, yeah.
Yeah. Can I shove one of the dew orbs in that spear hole?
Sure. You could have done it the hole down below too, so that works either way, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Are you cracking it beforehand, or are you just throwing it?
I'm shoving it. Like I'm pushing it in there.
No, I get that. Are you putting it in? But are you breaking it open before you put it in, or are you just throwing it in whole?
Throwing it in whole.
Okay. Because remember the way I described it, they do have a small, like, my brain wants to say seam, and that's not the word I'm thinking of. Together they have a small layer of like planty fiber holds in the dew itself.
No, I want to put it in whole because I want to give myself time to get away from her.
Okay. I mean, you toss it in. You can just kind of see it as it plops into the goop.
Delicious. And I'm gonna elegant wings back up to my little hole in the ceiling and monitor.
Yeah, good. Pushing off with do you take the spear or anything, and you leave it?
I would like to take the spear.
Okay. Yeah, you have a spear. Got about a 3-foot shaft, and the spearhead itself is about 6 inches. It's shaped more towards a dagger-like head than a normal like spear triangle, you know. So
is the person who's threw the spear anywhere nearby?
Yeah, they're
in a puddle.
Yeah, they're mostly a dissolved goop pile in front of the queen.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I will take the spear and go up to my hole.
Okay, take the spear to your hole.
Thanks for spear. Enjoy drugs.
Right, focus is up.
Briars will take focus unless you got a plan, little pot.
He is running for his life.
The punches through, and he's still just
keep
going.
that plan going.
He's just making circles around the cave.
It's getting his laps in.
I mean, so far it's working.
All right, Briars.
Briars will load up another shot into the Chemlock pistol.
Okay.
And he is going to aim it at where he saw Loon put that orb. At the spear wound.
I mean, so the orb went in. Like, she pushed it through.
Yeah.
You'd just be shooting a hole where the spear was.
Yeah. Kind of just hoping that it hits the orb and cracks.
No, so the orb isn't anywhere near that hole anymore. It fell into the abdomen.
Ah, okay.
Remember, the abdomen's only about a third full.
That is true. Mm. Okay, then he'll just make another shot into the abdomen in general.
Okay.
And he is also going to hold up the walkie up to the gun.
Okay.
Like off to the side. And pretty much hold down the button to send a broadcast out.
Okay.
He wants to see if loud noise really disorients these guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
4 dice together. A 6 in doubles.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. So you successfully fire the shot, and it punches through the outer abdomen flesh and flops somewhere maybe. The queen kind of gutters from the sudden piercing pain in the abdomen, followed by the cacophonous noise that erupts from the gun as well as the walkie. The ants around immediately, they almost seem like they're screaming as their mandibles clatter, and you hear kind of almost a hissing noise come from their mouths, quote unquote. The queen reels back, her letting out a very loud and echoing or a bellows through bellows throughout the caves, tunnels. Loon, up in the hole, you can hear it echo and bounce around through what sounds like dozens of tunnels deeper into the mountain. The smaller ants definitely seem disorientated. They're kind of staggering about, kind of you can just barely make out the sound. Someone pleading. Someone asking for help. It's coming from the walkie. Give me an instinct.
So just 1 dice.
I guess instinct plus rocket spit. So how do you not have knocked?
My explanation is that Briars was the only Zealacray at the mountain, so no one else knew it, so he never learned it.
So it's not how that technically works, but yeah, sure.
Technically, yeah, but still. That's how he explains it, or how I'm going to explain it. So that will be 3 dice in total, so a 5, 3, 1.
Oh, you rolled 5 through 1. The voices that come through the walkie, though, a lot of them are jumbled and mixed and incomprehensible. Occasionally you hear a voice that you recognize. Here or there is a voice. One time, you know, someone from a market. Another time, voice of maybe an older gentleman taught you to squirrel fish. It's faint and trick of the mind, but I just swore you heard someone familiar within crying for help.
Briars is going to attempt to get their attention. He's gonna call through the walkie. This is Archibald Briars. How can we help?
There is little response, though. Upon you speaking into the walkie, the ants shift, churn, and turn towards you. One of the larger ants skitters toward you quickly. Its mandibles mashing and clicking and clattering. And just before it impacts with you, it stops. Though it doesn't seem to look at you or hear where you are, it continues to click and clack. The mandible in a repeated motion. So you don't quite understand it. Roll me another instinct. Just instinct.
Just instinct. Yeah, okay.
Do it with a...
The +1. Well, I rolled a 6.
Sure, that works. Though you never really got the chance to learn any of it. And so your general understanding is what you picked up from ships and from markets here or there where you've run into other Zelicrae. The clicking and clattering is something similar. Knock. The other ants, the ones that were once chasing Little Pot, have turned and slowly began to kind of move toward Briars. Each one clicking and clacking in its...
As he is going to point at the radio in the Queen's head. Bring. And say it to the walkie.
The ants don't seem to quite get what you mean. They clack more. The queen turns its attention towards you and leans forward. Its abdomen kind of either this kind of squelching of the liquid inside and shifting of the abdomen. Mandibles clack, and then below, almost more like breathing than any kind of speak as it attempts to do so. Through the walkie, you can just barely make out. Rias. Are
How do you know me?
Rias?
Yes.
How do I know you? We used to hunt together. You are part of the hive. You were family. You return home. Welcome. And the abdomen bulges. The green goop inside begins to bubble. Its hue turns a sickly yellow. From inside, you can see spores, strange in their manner. And suddenly, the goop, this ichor twists and churns, and the howls of dozens of people can be heard screaming from within. A hand reaches out and pushes against the inside of the abdomen. The queen ant reels back, screaming in agony. Green ichor churns and moves and shifts. Slowly, you begin to see the shapes of people. Man, woman, child, fighting and writhing to escape. Their howls haunting. You briars, each one so very memorable. You can see in the forms taking shape, though twisted and befouled, faces you recognize, faces of kin, faces of family. As they fight to escape their prison. As a yellow mist-like fungal spore begins to seep from the multitude of wounds. Cresarine. The queen immediately begins ripping and tearing at its lower abdomen. You can see its lower limbs trapped inside of this bulbous form attempting to escape. Then it collapses in on itself, the abdomen no longer keeping form, the inside being clawed apart, sinks into its own ichor. The howls and screams, cacophony. The other ants that were around attempting to speak and clack, bolt towards Queen and again begin to try and rip and tear away this bulbous abdomen that keeps her trapped. To little avail, as you can see humanoid shapes reach up and tear through the abdomen, grabbing one warrior by a leg, a worker by its neck, and begin to drag it into the ichor. What was deemed not all that acidic, almost immediately dissolving away. The outer carapace and the bodies, and little remains outside of more goop added to the pile. And what was once wailing, screaming humanoid shape sinks into the goop. Looks like a mother clasping a child, a father clasping a friend. Slowly begins to sink in on itself before all that's left is the center, the queen, writhing, attempting to free itself. Through the walkie, you simply hear screams of pain and of wonder, of desire, of need, curiosity of children, the worries of a mother, the strength of a father, the love of neighbors and friends. And you hear the queen. No, we are not ready to return. One lives. We could be free still. And then it is consumed. The mass of writhing bodies pulls it into itself. It collapses in on itself. The walkie goes quiet. Shortly after, quiet settles in. Ichor shivers, shakes, churns, and begins to fold, twist, and mold. You can see it, parts of it slop out and reach towards different objects, things, rocks, spears, banners, anything you can grasp onto. Slowly it forms a hand. See rubble being made into, seems to be a layout of bonework and limbs, and it stretches, and this stuff twists. In its churning colors, you can still see the faces of those lost, screaming in silent agony. Or echoing and bellowing through the tunnels. Briars. Welcome home. As it lurches forward, its hand extending towards you, and from what can only be described as a relative face molds half humanoid shape is finally. You recognize that face. It very, very barely looks like your old chieftain. Join the family once more, Briars. Join the clan completed.
As Briars is going to take a step back. What happened?
The creature looks at you and looks around. It sees Loon up in the walls. It sees Little Pot. Kind of not really jogging, like running, kind of like a little canter. Probably still ready to book it.
After that. He's ready to go home.
Forced into tunnels, into the mountain. Krezarine, the creatures here. We died. He lurked forward again. Its hand, its opposite hand, reaches out and simply envelops one of the heaps of hibernating ants. You can hear the quick crunching and then a sizzling as they simply dissolve under its touch. Souls, Briars. Everyone's souls. There is no rest, no afterlife, just a damned continuance of pain. In a motion quicker than you think possible from large and malformed, it closes the distance, its head looming over you, Briars. You are not ready to return. You have not completed your hunt. Exile.
This is not my home. This is a graveyard.
It shifts and churns and see a multitude of souls peel up from lower parts of the abdomen, almost like children and people pushing past each other to see the final son of a dying tribe. Finish your task. Then come home. Let the tribe rest. And it deforms from its humanoid-esque slop and slithers past you, long, disgusting in nature, almost like a massive slug goes down the tunnel you came from. As it goes, you can see it reach out and pull and rip the different glowing buds from their holdings, incorporating them into its own body once again, before it disappears down the hall. Caves illuminated by nothing but the simple lights you have brought with you. There's no sound from the water. There's no sound in the cave. It's darkness.
Briars is going to look at what remains of the queen's corpse and see if he can find that radio, or what remains of it.
Yeah, sitting in the middle of the cave, there is a fairly well kept and maintained ham radio. Styles, no.
I think Little Pond's gonna take up drinking after this.
Yeah, it sits there, lays on its side, but it seems to be intact as far as you can tell. Of it's not broken open.
Briars goes over and picks it up. And stores it into whatever he has with him to store it with.
Bags just under 2.
Yeah.
Alright. Collected the ham radio. What do you all do?
Well, Lilliput votes to get the hell out of there, because its suit's been breached twice. We have the radio.
We still need to find the purifying device, though.
We can double dip to the area. Alright, so any other... We never passed another corpse within their suit, huh?
Not that was intact.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be intact. It just has to be long enough to just tie.
Yeah, because I think the closest one is melted into the goop.
Ah, damn.
With the guy who threw the spear.
He's got one device. There's another device. Lilliput's running out of time and traumatized because of whatever the hell that was.
There is also a minor increase in Cresbury room as well.
Oh, great. An increase in Cresrine, and the breach in his suit wasn't patched up at all.
The only issue is the purifying device is the main thing we need. The radio is just the bonus thing.
Where's that device?
You can attempt to look around. It's now much darker down here in the caves, but you'll move relatively unimpeded. Or, the thought crosses your mind that maybe Kazay will take solving the danger issue as proper payment?
I feel as though that is going to be our only option for now.
We got the bonus. I mean, we made it easier for his next expedition. I feel like that's a good enough repayment.
Yeah, considering the most lethal thing down here was that.
We can definitely, check in with him. And if not, at least we're surface level. And we can
We can
get
always go back.
patched up to get back.
That's the best option for now.
Yep. So we head back.
You guys head back. It's fairly uneventful back. The main tunnel is dark. You can see all the spots where the pods were removed from their holdings. The few that were already wrecked or drained left, kind of flopped about. There is no sign of the creature that had emerged from this incident.
I think it's too late for little pot to learn mixology.
You guys make it out to the elevator, and a little pulley used to call it back up waits for your tug. Anything you would like to do before you go up?
Just look
Do we
around
want?
the entrance.
We want to get one of those little metal guys as a pet.
Yes.
Were there any ant corpses I could have taken?
There is distinctly 0 corpses.
Yeah, they got all melted into that Krizarin, including the sleeping ones.
Didn't you kill one prior that one we get mixed in? I know you got one at least. So was it only the living ones, or was it as if it was like a insect that was gone?
Distinctly, Loon killed one in one of the small side tunnels.
Yeah, I was about to mention that one because I did believe he took all the ants from that main chamber.
As far as you know, there is no remaining corpses.
Damn. Well, guess it's not ants too. Alright. Well, that's all of my questions. And when you go back up.
There was a plethora of random scrap and supplies laying around. Other shenanigans, but in terms of the soul pot ants, their corpses aren't visible to you anywhere.
Damn.
Loon, what were you doing?
I was just looking around the entrance, the cave, seeing if there's any specimens that I could.
There's a lot of ranch, not a lot of like not a lot of collectible plant life down here. A lot of this down here has been very much tainted by Krezarine and wouldn't really be safe to handle or bring to the surface.
Okay.
I can make the soul pot hot pot.
That is, on one hand, sounds kind of like it'd be pretty good. You know, literal soul food. Also fucked up. That's literal soul food.
Yeah. So apparently, Little Pot is turning into a lich.
Yeah.
Eating souls to survive.
I gotta rebuild mine somehow.
So, you guys, I assume, head back up to the surface.
Yeah.
I agree, yes.
Alright.
Yeah, unless anyone else agreed with trying to get one of those metal hedgehogs.
I do want one of those really bad, yeah.
Disturbance of new bio life. Spot any?
Everything would have run.
By. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are probably too scared to come out right now. But hey, I mean, you guys, not a lot of chance to run into again, but you guys technically made a new Leviathan. Congratulations.
Yippee! My dead family's a Leviathan.
So, if Ryers completes his white hunt, like his white whale hunt, and he encounters that Leviathan again, is it going to try to subsume him?
Who knows?
Possibly.
Well,
As you come up, as the elevator slowly crawls up, again, it is quiet. Hear the weird creatures that you saw down, like roaming around when you down. Nowhere to be seen. Up. As you get to the higher branches, you do slowly start seeing smaller life, birds, squirrel things kind of scampering about the branches before you finally reach the top. Gate open. Stands Ogre. Next to Ogre. Slightly overweight form. Zay. A couple of guards stand next. Oh, great. It's so good. You made it back alive. This is a first. Truly a first. Tell me, did you get what I wanted? Did you back what I asked you to get? Where is it?
I would like to first say we may not have found the item that you were looking for. We might have given you something better.
He rolls his eyes and scoffs. There is nothing better than what I want.
What about what you wanted more?
Did you find two of them?
No. We cleared out the thing that was killing all the people that you were sending down.
Oh, good. So, next expedition team, I'll have to actually pay. What do you want, a cookie? Whatever. Fine. Fine. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? I'm going to send a security team down in the next couple of days. I'll have them report back to me shortly if what you say is true and the caves are now actually empty. I'll know shortly. You are not to leave before then, He reaches his hand out toward Loon. I will count our deal settled.
Loon outreaches her hand and goes to shake Kaze's.
Smiles, kind of gross, sleazy. It was great doing business with you. Please, stop by my docks anytime.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you for all your wonderful port's help.
Yes, truly one of the most hospitable places to land your ships. Tell your friends.
We will be sure to spread the news on the seas.
Please do.
Philip's gonna puke over the edge.
Gross.
After all of that, everything is kind of caught up.
Kaze turns and motions guards to follow suit as they head back upstairs. See that Ectus? I didn't know they could vomit. Ogre leans forward. I don't know what you did down there, but whatever it was, it felt horrifying.
It was. And now that Kaze is not here, because I would assume, as he pulls out the old ham radio, us giving you what you asked for would have pissed him off more.
I care not for what Kaze wants. He gets what he deserves eventually. It's honestly a surprise that you found what I was asking for. But I appreciate it. He takes it and holds it they take it and hold it in their hand. Finally, we can stop fighting for this body. The three heads shift down into the chest and kind of form out, fill the hollow section of its chest cavity, stacking together in its place. Goes the ham radio. Hear a short bit of tuning, or finally through a kind of staticky, but relatively clear radio-esque voice. Well, it sure is nice to be in control again. Don't know how weird it is having your core taken. Almost like your head's been missing the whole time, and and I don't know what you did down there, but I sure as hell felt it. I don't mean physically, I meant whatever the hell I'm made out of. That's where I felt it. But hey, you're the first crew I've ever had come back alive, so I guess top of me having my head again, we can celebrate your lives?
That sounds pretty good.
Wonderful. I'll have Costello make you some tea. Dials in its face turn, twist, and frequency changes. Follow me inside, please. Turns towards the metal canister that is its office/home. A metal pot and places it out. Pulls a box from off a shelf and places it down in front of you guys. Anyone disproportionate towards cake?
Absolutely not.
Right.
Cake sounds amazing right now.
Honestly, I'd be surprised if you even know what cake is, but yeah. Ogre opens up the small box, and it's a personal refrigerator. Inside is a well-maintained kind of a personal cake. I had traded for this from one of the earlier groups. Gone down. It had been meant to celebrate their return. Never came back. Either the next or the next. And I figured, what better way to mourn the loss of other lives than to celebrate with the one team that did return. One of her fingers swaps out with a semi-rusty knife. He cuts the cake into pieces. You hear the sound of boiling water and a teapot and a wheezing. He reaches inside itself and pulls out a boiling kettle. Well, what the fuck happened? Sits and watches y'all drink tea and eat cake as you recount the horrors of the depths. Every once in a while you see the dials of the head change, frequency shifts, and personality more in control, less randomly take over. You know, their sitting demeanor is a little different as well. It seems that whatever dragged these three souls together, or at least these three, the cores of what it was together, seems to be in much a stable state. Amrid as a head. The night kind of peels on as the three of you let's assume kind of enjoy your time. Anything you guys would like to do before returning to the ship?
The suits we had on.
I mean, I assume you return them.
You'd probably just check himself first, or like, since he was in a Krezrine heavy zone with a breached suit. If we return to the ship, it's gonna...
You don't seem to have anything growing out of you yet. Immediate change seems to be afoot. But you also have had very little contact with Krezrine, so overarching results you're unsure of. But for now, Little Pot, you're still Little Pot. And there are no extra souls or strange goop sleeping or crawling around you.
First Ectus with a mouth.
Never throw up, apparently.
Imagine like just a thicker, like just plant type.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like a weird liquidy pollen.
Like
A weird pulp.
like liquidy, like nectar, like almost like honey.
Just vomit nectar.
Yeah.
All right. With that, there's nothing else you guys wish to do.
Not me.
Briars.
Not me.
Okay. The
Briars is definitely just gonna relax.
the the evening slowly turns to night, and the night turns to day, and the day turns to night. A little bit of time goes by as Zay does send down a security team to confirm what he said. Before noon that very day, the Scylla's lullaby is released from its lock, slowly lowered towards the branches of the Wildsea. Though Kazay doesn't come and present you himself, one of the guards says, "Come on." Dockmaster says you're free to go. You may leave whenever you like. All debts are paid.
You heard the man, Captain.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Fuck this place.
Do not dilly nor dally.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
They've never seen a crew more prepared to leave.
Loon suddenly from New Jersey.
I'm walking here.
That's New York. I said New Jersey.
They're the same people.
So yeah. Moment you guys settled back in, the lullaby is looking fairly well. A little bit of patchwork around the whole middle, a couple of mismatched pieces of wood and whatnot, but
how's
I
our
just
buddy
realized one
doing?
thing. Wildsea can't pick up drinking. He's immune to poison.
yeah, you can't pick up drinking.
You're immune to it.
What do you say, Lynn?
How's Kokuzat doing?
Oh, Kokuzat, he's honestly, he looks super laid back. He's been done working for a couple of days. You can see he definitely went out and got some booze or something. As he's definitely tossed a couple bottles. He's not wasted right now. He's definitely cleaned up, and he realized, got a day or a couple days before we got to set sail. So, yeah, he's had like a week off. It's been great.
Briar's unable to just not have a minor outburst. He's just gonna constantly swear in Rockaspit. Just every time he looks at him, he's just gonna start swearing in Rockaspit. Just like, this goddamn motherfucker. Get the layback.
Has a new objective in life now.
Get drunk.
Create an alcohol that can get him drunk.
Great booze that you can get drunk. Damn, son, the shit that's gotta be in that. And so we put in these.
This doesn't make your body drunk. This makes your mind drunk. Your soul.
It's like 12 different like hallucinogenic plants and a sprinkle of like crystalline salt crystals around the top.
Like, if you're not immune to poison, it will just kill you. Faster than anything else could.
Well, you guys set sail back out into the verdant green, the branches, tendrils of Scylla's lullaby reach out one by one, pull forward, carrying you once again through the waves and vibrant colors out from between the mountains. the distance. It's not maybe 2 days out. Sea in the sky, forming of dark, swirling storm clouds. And we'll finish the session there.
Woohoo! Go team!
Go team!
Go team! Woo!
Man, we
They've been a
love
milestone. New
weird,
goal created.
weird on the
Create
spot
alcohol.
shit. Yeah, don't forget to mark down a milestone, whether major or minor. You guys do still have a major plot if you haven't used already this act. Yeah, Krezarine is wild shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of just went super wild with that one there. Thank you, Kat, for giving me something really weird to work with.
You know, I had 6 of those orbs. I had to find some way to put them all to use.
Fair.
Yeah, Little Paul, having witnessed the horrors beyond his imagination, is now searching for a way to get himself drunk so he can forget the horrors beyond his imagination.
That is a fair deed on the Wildsea, honestly. I'm sure there's a chunk of people who would love to ingest such mind-wiping concoctions.
Thing is, I already have a skill in concoct. He's
Yeah.
already on his way to doing it.
Just look, Loon has a new study partner. It's time to brew.
We have our flavor. We have lemon.
Yeah.
We just need to work with that.
Yeah, the
I have a test subject? Hell yeah.
what? I mean, you guys actually have 2 extra crew members. You have the 2. No, I was thinking the wrong crew. Well, you technically do. You do still have Kazay and Terramar, but Terramar is also fairly resistant. Deep dive submarine. And don't do that to Kazay. To Kokazah. He's a good man. He might have a family. You don't know.
He might have.
He doesn't have a family. Yeah, hope you guys had fun. I definitely enjoyed, again, doing the weird, making the. I got the soul pot ants because I was literally watching a fucking YouTube video about honey pot ants, like a couple months ago. And I had wanted to use them, but I made them a little bit. The beetles' point was to make them a little bit more hardy, so it would make sense they lived in a mountain instead of in a tree. So yeah, I hope the weird was weird and hopefully not horribly traumatizing that you never want to play with me again. But yeah,
I mean, I gave Little Pot a proper goal now.
fair.
I now have a direction to go with him. Other than this chef on this crew, he is now man trying to get drunk.
That's still not much of a goal, but
It is in the Wildsea when you're into things that can get you drunk.
Yep.
Fair.
Briar's traumatized. Player excited.
Fair. Alright. I will let you guys go though. I also actually need to prep for more streams. I'm gonna finish this and then get back right on to things. Yeah.
Yoki dokie.
I love you guys. You're great, wonderful players. Thank you so much for joining me for more Wildsea. I'll see you guys all later.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
It has been absolute blast, my friends. In terms of the YouTube side of things, Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Thank you for Twitch as well for those of you who will be taking off. I love Wildsea. I love running this. It's definitely a very weird system, but it allows for a lot of creativity and kind of spur of the moment shenanigans. Did I have Goop Monster made up of the amalgamation of souls that was being devoured and used to pilot not mecha biomecha suits? No. But that's what happened. Mutation. What a weird thing. But yeah. I will get you all later. Twitch side, I'm actually gonna be ending stream and then getting right back on. We'll be joining our good friend Lady Zuina for some Elden Ring Night Rain. Hanging out and that for a good bit. So sadly with that, the tavern doors will be closing for what a moment. So, finish your drinks, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time, bye-bye.